Welcome back to the Angry Man Podcast with Jason and Greg. So, Jay, this is an interesting one. Now, I'm going to warn you, Jason, and I'm going to warn those who are watching this video who are not Terence Crawford sycophants, that we will see in the comment section, all we do is Terence Crawford videos, although this is the first Terence Crawford video we've probably done in almost 2 weeks. You're going to hear that we are the biggest haters in the sport of boxing, that all we do is throw out Bud hate, even though we've probably done 15 videos or whatever in the last 2 weeks that have absolutely nothing to do with Bud. But I digress. We're going to go ahead and jump into this topic anyway. Canelo Alvarez is currently doing the rounds to promote his fight with William Skull, a fight that I don't think any fight fans are interested in seeing, yet we will get the opportunity to see him face Skull in May. Now, of course, as you're doing the rounds, people are going to ask you about some of the hottest topics in the sport, and Canelo answered a few questions about some of the hottest topics in the sport, including Gervonta Davis and his controversy that we saw last weekend. But one statement that he made on one platform that we both found to be incredibly interesting was his statements on Terence Crawford. Now, in one video, he didn't even really seem like he was committed to a Terence Crawford fight in September. And then in a later video, he talked extensively about Terence Crawford and mentioned the fact that Terence Crawford could be a huge fight, a mega fight, one that could possibly exceed his fight with Floyd Mayweather. Now, Jay, I don't know what he is talking about, because let's think about this whole situation with Canelo Alvarez versus Floyd Mayweather. I believe that was back in 2013.
2013.
So Floyd Mayweather at the time was the most popular fighter in the sport. Canelo Alvarez was also extremely popular at the time and was seen as the person that was going to take the mantle as the face of boxing moving forward, which he did. And that's how you get a fight that sells 2.2 million pay-per-view buys. Terence Crawford has never sold more, and I'm gonna go ahead and do a favor to the sycophants, 700,000 pay-per-view buys, although that was partially and mostly tied to the fact that his name had been linked to Errol Spence's name for so long. Subsequent to that, he didn't sell anything. He had an Israel Madrimov fight, and many people said that that fight did under 100,000 buys, and that Turkey Al-Sheikh lost approximately $10 million on it. Terence Crawford is not a popular fighter outside of boxing circles, yet you're telling me that somehow he is going to help you generate 2.2 million buys, exceed 2.2 million buys.
Crazy.
It is absolute crazy talk. I got to say that Canelo Alvarez is getting into his promoter bag and really doing what Turkey Al-Sheikh wants him to do, which is promote a fight that, to be quite honest, I don't think many people are asking for outside of Terence Crawford fans. Now, do I think the fight can do well? Yes. Do I think it's going to lose money? Probably, because I think they're going to pay them excessively well. But I do believe the fight can do 700 if it's promoted properly, maybe 800,000 buys, maybe. But certainly, I do not see Terence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez exceeding 2.2 million buys. And I don't care what Terence Crawford sycophant comes in and suggests otherwise. There's literally no evidence that that will occur. And Canelo Alvarez hasn't done a million pay-per-view buys since Triple G, which has been how long ago? 4 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago?
Something like that, yeah.
Because I don't think their third fight did a million plus. I can't remember now. One did 1.06 million buys. I thought that was 2, but I can't remember. But Jay, what's your thoughts on that?
It's Canelo just being in his promoter bag, man. There's nothing that points to this fight here would do more than a Floyd Mayweather fight. Yeah, Canelo's start is bigger than what it was back then, but it ain't where but Bud ain't nowhere near Floyd. Ain't nowhere near Floyd.
Bud ain't nowhere near what Canelo was back then.
That too. I mean, we can look at the fight with Madrimov and Bud. If Bud was such a major star like that card would have just still sold. You know, they had everything else going for it. They had concerts and 32 matches, so That fight card should have blown up, but it didn't. Canelo's the driving force here. We know it's going to do at least 500 just off the strength of Canelo alone. So I mean, I could see 750, 850, something like that. But to say it's going to do 2.2, that's not happening. Also, people are already making that claim already. People already talked about pay-per-views buys not being high because of pirating. So it wasn't as high in 2013 as it is now. So I mean, that's also, but it's still, even without pirating, it's not going to do 2.2. That's absurd. It's cool to say. It's cool to say. I mean, it sounds like someone telling me that Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia were going to do 1.5 million. But that didn't happen. So I don't see Canelo but doing no 2.2. It's going to do well. They're going to get paid a lot of money for this fight for sure. But let's not act like this is a Floyd versus Canelo part 2 in any shape, form, or fashion, because it's not going to be close to 2.2.
Yeah, and by the way, just to make sure we clarify, Garcia versus Haney did not do 1.5 million as mentioned by Garcia's promoter, Oscar De La Hoya, who said it did under 400. Just in case people try to say, well, you guys know, his promoter said as much.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So I think it's more and more I've warmed up to the fight, Jay. Because at the end of the day, a lot of people are, at least on this channel, they are talking about it. And so I've warmed up to the fight. I like to see Terence Crawford get the opportunity. I want to see what Canelo Alvarez does against Terence Crawford. It has been debated, at least on this channel again, who's going to win and why. And we've heard, this notion that Terence Crawford is an extraordinary fighter with extraordinary skills and the ability to leap a building in a single bound. So clearly he has everything that it takes to go up in weight and essentially knock Canelo Alvarez out, according to his sycophant fans.
Already got
So, Oh yeah. He could do it all, man. But I think this particular situation, it's absurd to believe that it's going to do. I would challenge the most hardened Terence Crawford fan to show me evidence that would suggest this fight exceeds 2.2 million. I don't even think you can find evidence that would suggest it would exceed 1 million pay-per-view buys. But if it does, great. It's great for the sport of boxing. It's something for us to talk about. But I think people think that we are way more into our feelings about this stuff than we are. But it is what it is. You guys tell us what you think in the comment section in regards to this particular situation. Do you believe that Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford can exceed Mayweather versus Canelo from 2013, which did 2.2 million pay-per-view buys? Let us know what you think. And if you do believe that, obviously you are deranged, but I still want to see what it is that you think. So let us know what you think. Don't forget to hate, like, comment, and subscribe. This is the Angry Man Podcast on Sports Media, and we are out.